there was never anything wrong with me. For a long time, I thought there was something wrong with me. When you grow up without a lot of emotional support, without guidance, without people teaching you how to understand your emotion or navigate life, you start looking inward and thinking, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I'm too emotional. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm difficult to love. And when you're constantly criticized, made fun of, or made to feel like you're not going to become anything, those words can become the voice inside of your own head. I remember being told when I was younger that I wasn't going to amount to anything. And I still remember it. Because when you're a child, you don't always understand that adults can be wrong. You believe them. You believe the people around you know better. And I went through a lot when I was younger. I didn't grow up with my dad. My mom was always working. There were things I needed emotionally that I didn't always receive. And instead of always getting guidance, understanding, or someone saying, let me help you, sometimes I got criticism. Sometimes I got judgment. Sometimes I got made fun of. And when you're already struggling internally, those things can hurt more than people realize. For a long time, I thought those experiences meant something about me. But now that I'm older, I understand something completely different. There was never anything wrong with me. I was a child. I was trying to survive with the emotional tools I had. And some of the people around me simply didn't know how to give me what I needed. They didn't know how to communicate. They didn't know how to nurture me. They didn't know how to guide me. They didn't know how to show love in the way I needed it to receive it. And that doesn't mean I wasn't lovable. It means that they had limitations. And that's a very different thing. Sometimes we spend our whole lives trying to get the love, validation, apology, or acceptance from the people who hurt us. We keep thinking, maybe if I become better, they'll finally see my worth. But you don't have to spend your entire adulthood trying to convince someone on something that should have been obvious when you were a child. You were worthy then, and you are worthy now. And maybe most of the beautiful part of growing up is realizing that you can become the person you needed when you were younger. You can learn how to speak to yourself with kindness. You can learn how to regulate your emotions. You can give yourself the guidance you didn't receive. You can protect yourself. You can set boundaries. You can stop repeating the things that hurt you. And you can create a completely different kind of family. Because one day, the love that you didn't receive doesn't have to end with you. You can give it to yourself. And then you can give it to the family that comes from you. You can create a home where children don't have to wonder if they're loved, where mistakes aren't met with humiliation, where feelings aren't mocked, where children are guided instead of shamed, where they hear, you can do better, and I'm going to help you, instead of, you'll never amount to anything. And that's when I realized something. My childhood doesn't have to become my destiny. I don't have to carry the emotional limitations of the people that raised me. I don't have to believe every negative thing that was said about me. And I don't have to spend the rest of my life waiting for someone else to give me permission to believe I'm worthy. I can give that to myself. So if you grew up feeling like you weren't loved enough, if your family was emotionally immature, if you had to grow up too fast, if you lived most of your childhood in survival mode, please don't make the mistake of thinking that their inability to love you properly means that you weren't lovable. You were. You always were. Sometimes the people who were supposed to teach us how to love simply didn't know how. And now, as adults, we have a choice. We can keep repeating what was done to us, or we can become the beginning of something different. And maybe that's the real healing. Not becoming who they told you would be or would never be, but becoming the person, the little version of you who always deserved to have been loved.